welcome back everyone.
Hey everybody.
So, back on the project here. Today's agenda, as you might be able to tell, tearing into some fiberglass once again. So, in a previous video, you guys saw us assembling our deck work here, our false deck. The hatch cover here that goes on the aft hold sat low in relation to the outside boards, and that's just due to a little inconsistency in our coaming here.
Well, I think a lot of it had to do with when we put these, when we removed the original raised hatch coaming on here and started working towards splitting this fish hold. We didn't take a lot of care, I guess, in getting these hatches level side to side. A lot of it had to do with this deck isn't level. On this side over here, it's about an inch higher in relation to the scuppers than over there. So whenever they put the deck down here, they maybe just eyeballed it too. And one eye was a little crooked, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was off pretty far. And so this whole deck is very inconsistent. So you can't really use that as a reference point. And so when we lined up these hatch coamings, which were actually the old pieces from the original one, we recycled them. Well, no, that was on the front one. The back one we actually made.
Mm-hmm.
But
we went off the front one.
But we went off
reference.
the front one, and we just kind of put it in there, and we used the deck to scribe it because of the crown of the deck, and we thought it was a little straighter than it was, but it wasn't. And then this back one was off a little bit too. It's actually crooked this way, it's crooked this way. So now we're paying for our prior mistakes and our lack of attention to detail, so to speak. Yeah, we got to come back and revisit this just slightly. Over here, the height was good. It's about 1/4 inch proud. Once it's pulled down with our hold down bolts here, that goes away. It's right where it needs to be. That gives the gasket a little bit of compression. I think we'll put some kind of a solid block in here somewhere just as a stop point, and then that way over time that gasket doesn't continue to just compress and compress. So that'll do two things. It'll keep the deck level with this one, or the hatch I should say, level with this one, but it'll also keep from over compressing that gasket, and it'll continue to do its job. And so that's why we're coming in here and we're just kind of shimming it up.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be super perfect or super nice. Everything is bearing down on top of this, and so it's just a couple of little shims. Gonna throw a few layers of glass over it, and Matt got those boards all fabbed up yesterday. That'll be our pieces that he's gonna use.
Yep, it's just some 5/8 plywood. Just use a planer to rip it down. That'll just go on top like that. Put putty in between. Suck it down with the screws. Fair out the sides nicely, and then probably just a couple of layers of 45 1708.
Yeah. So everything else looks great. We got the hatch. It's all ready to go. We were able to put all of our outside bolts in a nice straight line with the existing ones, so that worked out really good. And these are actually on the outside of the flange, so these aren't penetrating into foam or anything. This is the part that comes over and caps this hatch coaming. And so we just drilled and tapped them, and that's plenty for these. These won't ever have any upward pressure from the water blasting up or anything, so that is more than sufficient. At some point, we're gonna put a removable hatch in here, such as the one that Matt's standing on, so we can just jump back in this fish hold, easily get out bait, take ice, things like that, without moving the whole hatch, basically when we're out fishing. Figured out what we're gonna do with our hold downs here now.
A little swivel, stainless swivel, cut in half. So what we'll do is weld on a 1/2 inch bolt to the bottom of it. Bring it down to the shoulder, like around there. And then when we insert the half swivel into here, the shoulder here will have a nice sealing gasket of silicone. So we'll stick it through the hole, screw it in, and that'll correspond to our stainless hold downs here.
Once this hatch is in place, there's nowhere to physically reach in there and grab this thing. With a nice loop like that, now you've got a place to put a hook, and just a simple little lifting strap, little harness there. And so not only will we use these to tighten it down, but then when you're finished, you just got a nice hook there. So it's nice to see this start to come together. Get this glass work done today. We're also going to start working in this back piece here. We brought a couple of planks from home to finish this out.
What we ended up deciding is that where these stanchions are here, these aluminum stanchions, we're gonna cut this laminate right here, right in the middle, to where these stretches are supported by half of it, and then what will become our center pullout here, the boards will be attached to this, and it'll be supported on that span with the other half of the stanchion. Always square up your factory edge. Never know what kind of weirdness they got going on.
So this isn't really only aesthetics either. Whenever you have sharp edges like this, if you're sliding something across the deck and you hit those sharp edges, it tends to stop you pretty quick. So if you're clearing snow or whatever, you're bonking into those. A nice radius corner like this, we'll just glide right over the top of it. Protects the boards too, keep it from chipping out on the ends like that. Trying to do our part. Keep some of the plastic out of our environment. This whole project we've had our scuppers plugged with a hunk of foam. Keeps all the debris from going overboard into the ocean. It's easy just to take the air hose and just blow everything against the bulwarks and then come in and sweep it up or vacuum it up. Okay, so that's the boards to fill in this gap right here. Guess we'll grab a cutting disc and go cut the stringer. We've been using this diamond cutting blade for all this fiberglass work.
Looks good.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Cuts through like butter.
Yep.
If you're wondering why there was a taper here, that's just so that we can connect the long spans here and there. Like we said, we actually
kind of like where those center ones meet right there.
Yep.
Intention is to glass those over and join them to make it a stronger structure.
Yeah.
Okay, so now those are just gonna get sliced, I guess, huh? I think that should work, huh?
Yeah. What's it say, boss?
Say that was one crooked cut, that's what I'd say. Who marked that anyways? Down here.
Yeah, who did mark that?
I marked that
me.
side.
Alrighty, so we got our pieces of laminate fit in for the second time.
Yeah.
Off camera, we ended up doing longer ones because they didn't align very good on the board. Our fastener would have ended up right on the edge of the laminate, so that's not really ideal. So we went ahead and cut another one, a couple inches, inch and a quarter longer on each side, so that'll land in a perfect position.
So we just bolted this in to the stanchion right there, so it's nice and solid, it's not going to move, and we can reference off of that while we bolt in these kind of wigglier ones. Well, this would be nice to have this piece in place.
It'll be actually looking complete. .26 and 3/8.
Looks pretty straight.
Yeah. Swell. So yeah, guys, it's kind of a time-consuming process, as you can probably tell.
It's fiddly work.
That's kind of how it's been for the whole deck. So we're bringing guys back once we're on our last couple boards here, maybe.
Yeah.
That's the exciting part, is kind of seeing the last pieces go into place.
Absolutely.